Dang, Sam cost himself a lot of money.
Huh?
He cost himself a lot of money with these last 2 games.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, though.
Dang it, Sam.
I know.
I hate that for people, man.
I know. It dropped the bag.
Oh, my gosh. He cost himself a lot of money. He still
I think
gets
a
some
team's
money,
going to
but...
still give him some cash, though.
Yo, we are back. We are back fresh off wild card. Well, let me start that over. Super wild card weekend. Welcome to McCoy Van Noy. I am one half of your gracious host, none other than Gerald McCoy, the 93rd wonder of the world, big chest from the Midwest, the one that never fails. I only thrive. Killer because I'm from the south side of the 405. And my wild card winner co-host is...
Kyle Van Noy, currently playing for the wild card weekend winner, one of them, the Ravens, two-time Super Bowl champ. We are here. We are here, G.
Man, we are here.
Man? We got a lot.
It's great. It's great to be doing this show, coming off a dub.
Oh,
you know, I didn't expect anything less. But it's always great to come back and do this show after a dub, man. It was y'all did it in dominating fashion too.
Yeah,
dominating fashion. Y'all
I'm
sent
going to keep it a buck, G. I think it was a lot of belt to ass.
Yeah, no, it was. It was big belt.
Yeah.
Big belt.
But let's dive into it. I felt, first thoughts, I felt a little disrespected right off the bat. They won the toss and they didn't defer. They said, we want the ball. They was like, we're ready to go.
Hey man, can you just tell everybody? I know, because I know what you feeling as a defender. When an offense usually, just insight to how things go. Coaches usually be like, all right, we're gonna defer, kick, defend this in, blah, blah, blah. That's how I would say 95% of coaches, that's what they do. You kick, this, and this, blah, blah, blah. When a team comes out and says, we want the ball, it sends a shockwave through your defense. It sends a shockwave through you. Y'all don't understand that. But in this instance, with the greatest rivalry in the NFL, two teams that really don't like each other, and this is to go to the next round of playoffs, this is a defense that people was down on, and then they showed all of y'all what type of defense this is, and y'all gonna take the ball. Killer, take it away.
Yeah, for me, the first thing I thought when it happened was desperate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was like, we won. Desperation, not going with what they always go with, playing with their defense. That's what they're built on there. They were like, we got to switch it up. We're 0-4, desperation. That's what it came off as to me, being on the sideline. I was like, oh, man, this is disrespectful. Taking the ball first, we were all kind of pissed off about that. That to me was like a huge, alarm bell for me, because I feel like that wasn't what they do, but that's what they did. Had a big stop early. Didn't go 3 and out like we wanted to, but had a good play. Russell Wilson almost escaped. I think we had like a 2-man going on, so was able to get out, and I was able to get him down to then flip the ball, and then the offense marched the ball and put 7 on the board quick. The awesome thing that I loved about this game is the Steelers defense. They were like, we want to get Lamar to run the ball. We want to see if he can last a football game running the ball and throwing the ball. Let's see if we could take Derrick Henry out. And boy, oh boy, was that a tough thing to do, right? You got him.
Oh my gosh.
And I say that because you got him in rhythm, right? You got him in rhythm.
Jeez.
It was because Derrick's been eating off the zone read, and that was the game plan. Okay, let's take away Derrick and let's let Lamar get tired. But I feel like it got him into the game comfortably. It got him going, got him some good runs, had a good pull, a one-on-one tackle versus Minka in the open field. He made it. That was a tough play by Minka. I was impressed that he got all the way down there. Very, very close to getting him before he got the first down. That would have been a hell of a play, but he got the first down. That was just a momentum booster for Lamar. And then he was poised in the pocket, let the game come to him, took what was given to him, hit nice, good throws, was able to stretch the ball down the field when he needed to. It was just a very methodical Lamar Jackson in the game, which I love to see. Derrick is always going to be Derrick, right? If he gets his carries, he's going to do Derrick. You had this who was going to step up with Zay's absent. I think Big Zay stepped up a little bit. Isaiah Likely, you felt his presence in the game, had a couple catches, had the big stiff arm. He did the impersonation of Derrick Henry, like, get off me. I love that. Gets the sideline going. It was just a fun game to be at. The environment was electric, very memorable environment. So shout out to all Ravens flock, bringing the noise all game long. It was exciting to play in that building. The energy, felt it. John Harbaugh showing emotion after the game, pumping up the crowd because we felt it. It was a home field advantage. It felt like a playoff atmosphere, and we stood on business. It was belt to ass. Their defense getting almost 300 yards rushing on them. I'd be pretty embarrassed if that happened to me. Especially with all the good players they had. I want to see where that goes, what they're going to do over there. They have players like Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Highsmith, Minka. Where are they going? What's their direction?
Right.
Obviously, they're a division rival. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the future, but for us, it was a really, really good game. And for them, I'm sure it was embarrassing. They were on the field a lot. Their defense was on the field a lot. We had a drive where we had, I believe, 13 plays that we just ran the ball. That was just bully ball at its finest. People are going to be like, what we were going to do without Zay? Well, we got to the point where they were putting in goal line against us. That's what it was. Yeah. It was 9-on-7, G. We running the ball. They know we running the ball. Stop me.
Man,
how would you feel if that happened? Stop me.
Listen, I've been a part of those games where the offense just line up like, yeah, we running it. Yeah,
300 yards though.
And I'm just like, no. Never been a part of one of those.
I was going to say, Gerald McCoy, 3-time Pro Bowler, 6-time Pro Bowler.
No. We ain't giving up 300. Now, that's different. And they got a lot of guys over there. Did you know I'm an analytics
I will
guy
say Cam Hayward was out a lot. He got nicked up.
It's crazy. He was out that much. He still had like 10 tackles.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
He was tackling in the secondary.
Yeah, he was. But
I don't want to see Cam Hayward tackling in the secondary if I'm a Steelers fan.
And did you? I'm an analytics guy now. I have to be because I work with TV. That's what we do. Did you know this crazy stat that y'all undefeated when Rashad Bateman scores a touchdown?
Ooh, I like that.
Y'all undefeated when Rashad Bateman scores a touchdown. So we're going to have to go up to New York. And
that was a great play.
Man, it was.
Critical play. 3rd and 13. We talk about the situational football. Are we going to get 3 points because we don't get the 3rd down, or are we going to get the 4 extra? That is huge in the playoffs. The playoffs are about stopping the run and who can run the ball and red area defense.
Saying it for weeks.
It's amazing. Like when you watched all the games in the wild card, who was successful in the red area and who wasn't, and just the scores that happened. Washington, they had chances and you thought the Bucs were going to get out. And then, we'll get into that game a little bit more, but it was just the red area defense and offense, the execution, the play calls. It's just it's tough sledding in the playoffs. Another thing I want to talk about is we got to talk about the the bad too. Defensively, first half, pitched to shutout. It was amazing. Not on the field much, very fresh. Second half, a little leaky in the pass, just big plays. That's what it comes down to. Big play down the sideline to Mike Williams, which was a dot by Russell Wilson. Really good play. B. Steve on the double
Touchdown
move,
right up
tough.
the seam, yeah.
But the fringe area, so we got to do better about the shot area. And then the other one, the shot down the sideline in between AD and Nate Wiggins to George Pickens, who I believe is the number one. But it's like, I ask him every time we play, which George are we getting today? I like George Pickens, like playing against him. His competitiveness, his fire he
Did you
plays
see what he
with.
said after the game?
I know, but in the game, every time I ask him,
I'm saying, did you see what he said after the game?
Yeah. Of course, that's George right there. What George are we gonna get? And he's
hilarious.
authentic. He's authentic.
For those who didn't see it, what I'm talking about, I'm referring to is a reporter asked him about the offense and what they were trying to get better in and optimism, and he was like, yeah, seeing improvement from where we were to where we are now. The reporter said, so does that make you optimistic about the future? He was like, nah.
Hey, he needs to get in the Anthony Richardson conversation. We gotta lie a little bit, bro. We gotta lie.
I tell you what, Maya Stokes, Melissa Fitzpatrick, and Minka Fitzpatrick Sr., on behalf of Derrick Henry and his family, I like to apologize to you guys. You happen to watch your loved one go through that. Derrick Henry needs to be on the wanted list. America's Most Wanted for committing murder over and over and over again. These are grown men with family. You Minka Fitzpatrick, man, he got a son.
He's a dog too.
He got a son.
He's a baller.
His parents is watching this game. He got a lot of people who love him, man.
Teammates too. They were college teammates too.
Like,
that makes it even worse, right?
You just, as I'm watching this game, I'm like, man, this is a really dominant game. And then he does that to another grown man who's not a small person.
No.
And he
all pro safety.
It wasn't like a stay away from me. It wasn't like I'm gonna keep you over there so I can keep running. It was like why would you even attempt to come up? Like he literally slapped him to the ground. Like that dude, man, listen. On behalf from Yahoo Sports and McCoy Van Noy, on behalf of Derrick Henry, we apologize for this happening to your loved one, because that was different, man. And Derrick Henry is different, and y'all signing him. You see, when you make certain signings in the offseason, you sign people for different reasons. What we seen on Saturday is the evidence of why y'all signed Derrick Henry. He's made life easier on Lamar. He has. But what he did to the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is not your average defense. These are not your average players over there. These are very elite players. Hall of Fame worthy players on that defense.
Prideful players.
Prideful players. This is a rivalry. And what he just did to them is why you signed Derrick Henry. That's what playoff football is. And that's not only that, that's what he brings to this team. You don't want to have to deal with that this late in the season. I don't care if you are trying to get the Super Bowl. And people are like, well, you're trying to win the Super Bowl. And I mean, it shouldn't matter what. Yes, it does matter.
Gee, I do have to ask you a question. As somebody who watches Derrick Henry and what he's doing this year and what he did, you have to ask the GMs, right? You gotta, like, as a fan, you gotta be like, yo.
Listen, this offseason when people was Derrick Henry ain't Derrick, I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah, like, he rushed for 1,200 yards.
Did I miss, like, when did he fall off?
It's a narrative,
like,
bro.
when was the fall off? It ain't
crazy.
like he went from what he's doing this year to 500 yards and he played every game. It's like, Where
It
did this
pisses me
narrative
off.
come from? And it's like, so you're going to take a guy who was on a team where he was the focus. A.J. Brown been
Yep.
gone.
8
He was
box. They were
the
getting 8
focus.
box.
He
9
was the
box.
focus, and he's still getting 1,500 plus, 2,000 yards on that team. And you're going to take a guy who can do that and bring him to a team who's been top 5 in rushing for 5-6 straight years? That
Yeah,
okay.
Last year he had 280 carries and a little over, or almost 1,200 yards and how many touchdowns?
And people said he wasn't the same?
Yeah, he had a 69-yard run in there.
That should let you know.
I mean,
that should let
come
you know
on,
the
man.
level he's been at. A person can get 1,100 yards and you say he's not the same.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I guess. But anyway, man, listen. How I feel about what y'all did, y'all sent a message to the rest of the league. Forget the AFC. Y'all sent a message to the rest of the league. Hey, listen, this was not just a home game. This was not just any old playoff game. This was not just a rivalry. This was a message that we're sending to whether somebody was to come to Baltimore or whether we got to travel. Just understand we're on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
There was some celebrating, but it was more like,
nah, there was no celebrating,
man.
bro.
It was like, all right, cool. Like we did put the work in. We did get in the end zone. Cool. You ran down Russell Wilson. Quick little yell. We got off the field. Cool. Man, y'all on a mission. Y'all on a mission, man. And this is why when we did Super Bowl picks on the show, me and Kurt both picked Baltimore. They said, who's the biggest threat to Kansas City? Baltimore. Who can win on a team that's playing Wild Card Weekend? Who can win the Super Bowl? Baltimore. I've been telling y'all this for weeks. This ain't just because Killer's here. I've been telling y'all for weeks, probably 2 months. This is the best team in football. And when they get going, everybody will see. All right. Okay. And that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. They gonna put the evidence of the consistency of everybody on the team. Killer told y'all weeks ago, we're going to figure this thing out on defense. Yep. Y'all would go play a great game and you would say, we're not satisfied. It's too much we left out there. There was so many mistakes that we need to get fixed. And that's been y'all's mindset the whole time. Y'all went on a bye week and Lamar's interview was, man, I don't even really want to go on a bye week. I just need this to hurry up so we get back to playing. We need to fix things. Yeah. And you talked about the work ethic of everybody in the building. It looks great. It looks great. There's a lot more work to be done, but you can tell the energy.
Yeah, we definitely have an energy. We're definitely not satisfied. We have a big game coming up that we'll talk about it more. But I have one question for you with your analyst hat on. Where do the Steelers go? So quarterback-wise, Russell Wilson,
So here's
Justin Fields.
You know what's
where
crazy?
Do we go?
You know what's crazy is before tonight or yesterday, however you want to look at it, the game. Before we seen Sam Darnold play, before we see before we see Sam Darnold play, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Darnold was an option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's forget who's going to be the quarterback. As much as people are going to hate to hear this, and as crazy as it sounds, it might be time to start thinking about a new head coach. I love Mike Tomlin to death. Mike Tomlin it doesn't matter if they part ways with him, he'll be hired next week. Yeah. It's not about Mike Tomlin. It's about what's happening over and over and over again. And sometimes you need a new voice. You need a different type of energy. You need a fresh start. You need maybe one of these young Ben Johnsons or one of these guys to come in and just kind of change the culture. The Pittsburgh Steelers culture, it's incredible. But just because this culture is great doesn't mean that this culture does not fit better for what's happening right now. And I just think it's time for a breath of fresh air in Pittsburgh, man. And it has nothing to do with Mike Tomlin. But the reality is the reality. Yeah. They're not winning these. They just
the big games.
Just good enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. That's not hating. You told me to put my analyst hat on.
Yeah.
That's what's happening year after year after year. Cam Hayward, Hall of Famer. TJ Watt, Hall of Famer. Minka Fitzpatrick, All Pro. You got all of these people that's on this team that are great players.
Mm-hmm. They got some talent.
But what do they have to show for it? Yeah. What do they have to show for it? And that's why I say it might be time to revisit this head coach situation before we even think about who's going to be the quarterback. Before we and Russ, as far as Russ goes, Russ did his part. You know, he did enough, but I don't think Russ is the answer. I think you hold on to Justin Fields. You can let Russ walk, and you figure it out. But the head coach is the first order of business is what are we going to do with Mike Tomlin? And I just think it's time, man. It's just you know, sometimes it happens. Look at the Saints, Drew Brees and Sean Payton. It happens. Bill Belichick's no longer the Patriots. It just happens. It's just time. Sometimes it's time for a changing of the guard, and that's it.
Yeah, a couple more thoughts about the game that I definitely need to shout out. I had a really good conversation with Tyler Linderbaum earlier last week before the game.
Boy can ball.
Just talking about, you know, I won't go into like details of everything we're talking about, and you know, it's nothing that is you know, I'll keep most of it private, but I wanted to just talk about like a little bit of what we talked about with just leadership and just how proud I am of his growth and his leadership. You know, I don't know what it's like, but for him and Kyle Hamilton, those two especially, to be so young, to have Pro Bowls already, Kyle All Pro twice already. They're huge foundations to the Ravens' success over the last 3 years. I love Tyler Linderbaum. So proud of him. So happy to be his teammate, and just his growth and leadership of being that voice, that foundation piece of, you know, the next step of being more vocal, and him and Ronnie teaming up and just, you know, protecting Lamar like they did the other night and then rushing for 300 yards. They deserve a lot of love and credit. You know, Lamar and Derrick Henry, yes, superstars. Very, very much so. Everybody needs to salute to them. But them boys up front gave Falele his credit after he, you know, growth in the beginning of the year to where he's at now. Roger, oh man, big Roger Rosengarten. There we go. Hot damn. But to go out and play
that boy Rolls Royce,
his first game against Chris Jones, give up a sack fumble, and then to be where he's at now, where he basically held TJ to no stats in the game. You know, I don't know if he was getting chip help. Maybe he was. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He played a hell of a game. Roger's going to be one of them ones. He's got that mindset. He's got that dog mindset. Very proud of him and his growth. I told him in fall camp I was going to get him ready. I bull rushed him. That was like, you know, me and him were going at it in fall camp and just trying to get him ready, that bull rush. He's like, you got that dad strength.
That bull rush ain't no joke.
No, but you know, it's all love, and to see where he's at now, super proud of him. I'm just excited for the O-line. They don't get enough love, but just played a hell of a game. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and shout them out. I hope that goes viral for them because they deserve a lot of credit, leading with Tyler Linderbaum.
For sure.
Man. He's been a baller, kind of the unsung hero of the offense.
Yeah, I remember when he got drafted. I said, man, that dude gonna be an all-pro in the next 2 years.
You saw he got drafted from Iowa. You was like,
yeah, when I see
that's
Iowa,
a Pro
I
Bowler
said,
right there.
oh man, that's an all-pro. He's an Iowa offensive lineman. That dude's an all-pro.
Yep,
and then when he got
thing.
drafted, I'm like, man, them dudes already run the ball incredible. Yep. And you gonna bring him in? He's gonna be the center, and he's gonna be an all-pro for sure. And that dude can ball. Man. I knew it. You could just see it.
Yeah,
you
saw his prototype.
You seen it. You was like,
drafted.
Man, they showed his draft. They showed him moving in the draft, and his boss. Oh yeah, that's all pro. I knew it.
Funny
because you like Tristan Wirfs, like when Tampa drafted Tristan, I'm like, oh yeah, that dude. Just jumped out of a swimming pool and landed like he just jumped out of a swimming pool. That's an all pro, man. Whatever.
Facts. Yeah, but it's funny. Funny story. Everybody knows this, kind of. I hope, and if you haven't, that's kind of the thing that Tyler Linderbaum pinned Wirfs. Got him pinned. It's on the internet. G.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and he's it's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Hey, that dude. Hey, listen, y'all got. You don't rush for 300 yards without your O-line getting busy.
Yes.
And that's just the truth of it, man. But just a dominating performance all around. But there was a lot of football played this weekend. One game in particular that we gotta get into. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back, and then we're gonna get into the rest of Super Wild Card Weekend.
Back from break, let's get into the Wild Card Weekend. First game we're gonna talk about. It was a blowout, but it was competitive in the first quarter. But it turned out to be a blowout. Buffalo Bills 38, the Denver Broncos 7. Bills, back and forth in the first half, then blew the door off.
Couple games, yeah.
And the rest was history. They ran away with this one. Josh Allen was pretty damn good. 20 for 26, 272. He was on point, had 2 tugs. But something that stood out to me was their run game. Led by Cook.
Yeah, like Denver couldn't stop the run for nothing. It was just like, God.
Because they were doing all right in the beginning when they got it in passing.
They was picking them apart in that run game.
Yeah, they were attacking the linebackers and then away from Pat Surtain a little bit, but they were competitive in that first half. You saw the juice, the life. I think something that really they missed out on was that field goal to tie it up. Will Lutz, and I think the Buffalo Bills ended up dominating and showing them they were the better team. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I think that the AFC forgot that they got to stop the run this weekend because wasn't nobody stopping the run in none of these games. But this is all I'll say. Buffalo's Buffalo. I had picked Denver because every wild card there's a recipe for an upset. And to me, I know that Buffalo hasn't lost in Buffalo, but I've played against Sean Payton enough. This is not me speculating. This is a fact. On the run, Bo Nix was the most accurate quarterback on the run all year, and he's a rookie. So Buffalo's defense, besides taking the ball away, there wasn't really much to write home on. So I'm like, okay, you got arguably the defensive player of the year on Denver's defense. They lead the league in sacks. Josh Allen hasn't really been getting, sacked a lot this year. So, hey, this might be the game that they, can get something going. And Bo Nix just showed, some of the missed throws he had. He's still a rookie. And that's okay. The positives is Denver will be a problem moving forward. They got a quarterback that I believe can be the quarterback of the future. I don't know. He's just a rookie, but he's got all the intangibles. I believe in Sean Payton. The defense is really good. Zach Allen, that dude can ball. Man. Nick Benito. Yeah. They just got a great young nucleus. Marvin Mims, another OU guy, all pro again, Pro Bowl returner. They just got a good group. So as far as the game went, they lost, but they got a bright future moving forward. So that was that. But that was really my takeaways. They just couldn't stop the run, and Buffalo just showed why they would been Buffalo all year.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Houston Texans 32, Los Angeles Chargers 12. This was a big game that everybody, it seemed like they picked the Chargers. I thought they missed their opportunity right in the beginning of the game. Had multiple turnovers, had possessions, and
Can't
only
do
had
it in the
6
playoffs.
points out of it. I felt like that was a backbreaker, especially on the road. Get off to such a hot start and then not finish was tough. I felt like it would have been a whole different game if it was 10-0, but it kept the Texans buzzing on defense because they were stopping them. They had confidence, and then slowly it built confidence into C.J. Stroud, who ended up playing a pretty good second half.
Actually played pretty good,
running show by Joe Mixon, and they were like, what by Rex Ryan? What by? I like that.
Yeah. My takeaways from the game, the best decision DeMeco Ryans made all year was playing his starters in week 18. Rest versus rust. He knew his team wasn't.
This is a hot take too.
He knew his team wasn't playing great. He knew they needed the reps. He knows his team is young. He knew they wasn't hitting on all cylinders like they should have been. So he made them play in week 18, which carried that momentum into this week. And it showed on that field. That defense, 4 takeaways, 4 sacks. That is a defense that can go on the road and beat Kansas City. Yes, I said that because they have everything. They can take the ball away. They can rush. They can stop the run. That is a Super Bowl playoff defense.
Yeah,
they showed it, man. They just, them boys was locking up, and they just played lights out. Now I want to go to the other side, to the other team.
Oh man,
yeah.
Talk about my guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about him. I'm gonna talk about him, and it's not a negative. It's to the fans. It's to the fans. We pass on and label and give people labels so easily. We don't make them earn them. And I think sometimes when we label people, we don't understand what we're saying, and there's a difference in these terms. The word I'm talking about in the label is elite. Justin Herbert has elite talent. Justin Herbert is not an elite quarterback because this happened again. Justin Herbert had a really good year, didn't turn the ball over, played well, getting this game 4. It's not that he doesn't have the talent to do it. If we go top to bottom, intangible talent for talent, spec for spec, Justin Herbert can line up with the best of them.
Yep.
That's not what I'm talking about. Well, what about the yards? What about it's the missed throws. It's the missed opportunities in the big moments. That's what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm saying when I say Justin Herbert is really good. He's not elite yet. He still got some work to do. This is not a bash Justin Herbert session because I really think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But when I say that he's not elite, that performance is what I'm talking about. When these moments come up, if they lost the game, lose the game. Things happen. You lose games.
I felt bad for my dog, but
I'm watching it.
There was a couple drops there for that.
There was some
pick
drops.
6.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But I'm watching it and I'm like, man, if he just, and he's not far off. I bet you this. I will say this though, all you Chargers fans, that's going to bash me for saying this. I'm also going to say this. I bet you by next year, my tune will be different.
Yeah,
my tune will be different because he'll have another year under Harbaugh. He has elite talent.
And I will say too, being his teammate, he's obsessed.
That's what I'm saying. You know how I know you're not lying? Because what we seen him at Oregon, that ain't who we got in the league. Nobody expected him to be this when he was in college. We knew he got drafted. We knew he had intent, but as good as he is now, nobody's seen this coming. We didn't see this. We see the big body, big arm, whatever. We didn't see this level of talent. I'm telling you now, and I'm calling it right now. My tune will be different next year. He'll be under Harbaugh another year. LaDD McConkey, That's he's a baller. They gonna get some more guys in there.
They need a one though. They need a true one.
He's gonna figure out. He learned from his mistakes from when the last playoff game and this playoff game, and by the end of next year, he will be hell on wheels. And like that dude, because he does have elite talent. But I just wanted to say that when I give my explanation for what I'm saying, I think he's really good. I think he has elite talent. He just hasn't crossed that threshold of elite quarterback play yet. But Justin Herbert, he's one of those. Don't get it twisted. He is one of those.
My dogs, man.
Yeah.
Got a lot of homeboys on that team. Jay Herbo being one of them. And it was tough watch, especially because being his locker mate,
for sure.
I know him, and
I know it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know that hurt. Well, we get into mine.
Because I want to defend him too, and it's just I got
pain. Don't worry. I got pain inside that I'm gonna release. We got one more game, and then the pain starts.
Two more. First,
no, I'm saying we got one more game, and then the pain starts, and the game after that is what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, let's do this next one. The Eagles 27, Green Bay Packers 10. The Eagles defense, ooh-wee.
Yeah.
They was
Eagles
balling.
Defense.
Big
Eagles
play,
defense.
Slay, my
Don't
dog.
Panic.
That's my
panic,
dog.
Eagles fans. Don't panic. Your quarterback was at. We did a segment on was I worried about Jalen Hurts coming back playing? Did I have any concerns? My concern was coming back from a concussion. Excuse me. Coming back from a concussion, you can't practice. So he practiced this last week, but before that, he been out. We don't know the psyche of what getting hit, man. Head injuries are nothing to play with. Jalen Hurts, everything he do is predicated off him running or the run game. When you're apprehensive to run, it changes everything. It changes your thought process. It slows everything down and all that. He just got back.
Okay, we got to talk about it. What do you think about the receiver, A.J. Brown, with the book?
We see crazy stuff in the NFL, man. I don't know what the heck that was, but hey, if that's what
shout out to the author though. He's the best, he's a New York bestseller now.
Hey, listen, but the thing is, we had a mental coach that helped a very prominent player on our team when I was in Tampa. And he went everywhere with this person. Game days, during the week. You seen him. He was supposed to be brought to the team to help everybody, but we seen very quickly, no, he was brought to talk to this person. And he would they did all these different techniques and all this whatever. And then the guy would be on the field, and in the middle of practice, he pulled me to the side one time, and he was like, close your eyes and try this and this and this, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Hey, man, whatever AJ need, whatever he reading, whatever to get him through, he said his teammates call it the recipe. Hey, whatever it is, man, I ain't never seen it before, but we've seen some crazy stuff happen on sidelines, and if that's what he need to get deep in thought in his book to go out there and keep his psyche right, do your thing. But I just don't want the Eagles fans to panic on the pass game. They'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Better get it figured out quick, because that team that's coming up there, them boys ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah. But we got to shout out Vic Fangio. He saw his outfit in Miami and was like, nah. Took his talents to Philly, has transformed that defense. Big play Slay, my dog. I believe he's 1 year ahead of me. Year 12, second rounder from Detroit, just like me. Still playing at a high level. Wish he would stop always trying to go for the PBU. He would have more picks and be a Hall of Famer. I still think he's on that borderline Hall of Fame career. Very, very good football player. Set the tone with the pick early. Jordan Love had another rough pick to Zach Bond over the middle.
Shout out Zach Bond,
man. Bond. That's
a story to
made
tell,
some
man.
Money.
Shout
you made some money, my boy.
Shout out Zach Bond.
Yeah.
For y'all that don't know Zach Bond, man, he came from New Orleans.
Fire.
He was a special teams guy. They signed him to just be a help guy, man. This dude was first team all-pro, and you seen him with the pick. You seen the play before the pick.
Yeah. So I've been following him a lot in his career because he was my comp coming out. I was his comp coming out of college. So I got tagged a lot on social media.
You two beige.
I feel like that's my little brother. You know what I'm saying?
The two beige bandits battling. Both of y'all just beige.
They said, hey, this is your comp. And so I'm like, all right, that's my little bro. So I'm claiming Zach Bond. Those are, you're welcome, Zach Bond, for all the talents, my boy. But no, hell of a player to make the switch from on the ball to off the ball like he's done. I feel like he's a smart, instinctive football player. It's opened up his IQ to be shown to the world how good of a football player he is. The Fangio defense, a lot of hook for the middle linebacker, so he's able to read in the middle and just break on stuff and make plays, fly to the ball. Let the big boys like Carter eat in front of him, Jordan Davis, and him go get it. Also, Nolan Smith's playing very, very well. But
he is.
Saquon did his thing. O-line still a problem on the Eagles. I feel like Hurts had a lot of time to throw in this game. But the Packers held strong on defense for a lot of this game.
They held strong as long as they could, man.
As long as they
when
could.
You got guys not playing and then another one of your receivers go out and just
tough.
You know, it's tough to go on the link and win. First off, healthy, but when you're not healthy, you know, it's just tough.
All right, let's do the game last night before we do the last game because I want to hold off. That's closing time. You know what I mean? Rams 27, Vikings 9. I mean, I felt like this was a belt to ass game. Woo-wee. 9 sacks,
bro.
9 sacks for the Rams defense. Them young boys are cooking.
Hey, listen, I said a long time ago, the team you don't want to play in the NFC is the gosh dang Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Oh,
Super Bowl
man,
champs, bro.
They have the perfect formula to go win it. Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl winning coach, great run game, 2 dynamic wide receivers, and them young dogs up front. They got 2 young boys in the back end, got 4 picks apiece. Man, listen, when I tell you this team is a problem, okay, and if you got a quarterback who's so intelligent, he knows what's necessary to go win the game. He knows if I need to go win this game with my right arm, I will. It don't matter if I need to scale it back and hand the ball off and just kind of, but if I need to pick you apart with my right arm, oh man.
Hall of Fame quarterback?
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right, just checking.
that throw he made in the Super Bowl when they won it.
He's the one that started everything.
Mahomes
gets all the love.
Who takes the chance of a no-look pass in the Super Bowl?
He does.
That guy.
I've witnessed it
so
live
I said,
many times.
Philly better tighten up. Y'all better tighten that team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, Saquon, I think, rushed for 1,000 yards that day. And so I think the Rams kind of struggle with that. So it'll be interesting to see how that all unfolds.
And they haven't forgot it.
But the Vikings, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know what the Vikings got a lot of decisions to make. They got some decisions to make, man. Like before
I think they're gonna let Sam Darnold walk.
I think he's gonna walk.
They're gonna go with JJ McCarthy. They're gonna they're gonna stack everything because he's on a rookie contract. They're gonna stack him with all the weapons, probably bring in a veteran, maybe, I don't know. Don't think so. Maybe to help Kevin O'Connell and the veteran quarterback help develop him.
Sam
and just
cost
put
himself a lot of money.
Huh?
He cost himself a lot of money with these last 2 games.
I don't want to talk about that though.
Dang it, Sam.
I know.
I hate that for people, man.
I know. It dropped the bag.
Oh my gosh, he cost himself a lot of money. He still gets some money.
I think a team's going to still give him some cash though.
Man, okay. I don't want to take shots at other people. He could they gonna draft somebody.
Raiders?
They draft somebody. Raiders. Because this QB class
Jacksonville?
is not great. They said they gonna give Trevor Lawrence another shot.
Okay, I'm just throwing places out there. The Colts?
Saints? Yeah.
We're just throwing spots out there.
Places. Cleveland. Deshaun Watson just re-injured himself. Jameson's Pittsburgh. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, we'll stop right there. All right, we got to talk about this last game. I think this was the best game of the weekend. A lot of action in this game. Sorry, G. Washington Commanders 23, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20. Yeah. Damn it, I pressed the button.
That mean we supposed to skip it. We ain't supposed to talk about this game.
Dang, I was rolling
God,
too.
Listen.
Where did I pause at?
God, I knew you rock with me.
Where did I pause at?
I knew you rock with me, God. Addy, don't mute. Don't edit this out too. God, see, listen, I'm one of God's favorite, and y'all didn't know that. He was about to start talking crazy and disrespecting my boys, and God said, "Not today. You ain't gonna do that to my son."
That's
not my
funny.
son.
All right,
You,
whatever.
God.
Washington Commanders 23, the Tampa Bay Bucs 20.
Mute.
There you go. Not muted. Green. Green light.
All right. Yeah. Before this game, I talked a lot of noise, but I was really nervous about this game because Jayden Daniels is really good. And our pass defense, namely our zone defense, is not very good. There's 21 touchdowns we've given up to only 5 picks when we play in zone defense. They were not great. Yeah, they were not great at rushing the quarterback with just 4. We were always sending pressure. But if we didn't get home, we were screwed in the back end. Jamel Dean went down early.
Oof, that was tough.
That hurt. That hurt. Scary Terry, he did his numbers. Scary Terry did his thing, but man, we had opportunity after opportunity to get off the field. And Jayden Daniels, which I'll talk more about him later, his ability to extend plays.
That dude is cold, man.
His ability to extend plays, man.
Crazy.
Nothing bothers him, man. And he's just one of those other. Yeah, he's
like
one of those other.
Curry.
He's one of those of the future, man. And he extended plays like I gotta, Levante balled out.
Levante. Oh my God.
Kalijah Cansey's gonna be one of them ones up front. Vita held stout, in the middle, but it wasn't enough, man. I want to shout out the positives. Mike won his matchup. Everybody was worried about Marshawn Lattimore. Mike cooked that boy. They had to start doubling him. He's like, no, I got him one-on-one. No, you don't. This is Mike Evans. We not doing that. And your hammy, the boy that tore your hammy off, try to guard Mike, man, leave him alone. Just let that go. Mike wins. But yeah, man, what we didn't do is execute at the end. You gotta be. I was always taught fourth quarter crunch time is technique time. And shoot, it's crazy. Greg Schiano taught us that, and he learned it from Belichick. It's technique time, and you got to execute. Tom talked about it on TV. He said, in these close games and games like this, when you got to take care of the football and you got to score when you get in the red zone. And we just didn't take care of the football, and they scored, man. They got that long drive, and it was just their night. The way they won that kick, it was just their night, and you can't take nothing from them. We lost fair and square, but I will say this: I think we lost. I think we had a great path to the NFC Championship. I think we had a great path to the NFC Championship. I feel like we are a matchup problem for Philly, and
I'll be interested if you guys keep your OC though. I'll say this
really
again
good.
about that Liam Cohen, dude. The best offensive coordinator I saw all year. He was dynamic.
Him and Ben, they went back and forth. Him and Ben Johnson went back and forth.
He did. But thing is, Ben Johnson has
you talking about all
ballers.
the people he got. I'm
not saying the Bucs don't have ballers, but
they were saying this is the best Bucs offense ever.
I mean, compared to what Ben Johnson had,
numbers,
Liam was making lemons into lemonade. Just keep it a buck. Like,
nah, man.
Receivers,
they was talking about that counter
running backs. Bucky Irving, he's one of them ones. Good player.
He is. They was talking about that counter, and shoot, if it wasn't for the other guy on the other side, he would have an argument for offensive rookie of the year. You got Bowers, you got Ladidi,
Yeah.
you
You
got
got that
Bucky
Brian
Irvin.
Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. and Jayden Daniels, man. It's probably, man, I think I'm missing one. But
Neighbors, maybe.
yeah, but it's a lot of Bucky's one of those. And we were running this counter. And they talked about how that's not even Liam Cohen's, like, that's not even his style of run game.
Yeah.
But because he developed it, because he's seen, man, this is working for Bucky. Like, Bucky, he gets behind those offensive linemen, and we gashing people. And it became our staple in our run game. And it was working. I can't say enough about Dan Quinn and his ability to captivate rooms and bring men together.
You played for sorry, I don't mean to bring up,
no
PTSD if that's the case, but you were in the building with him, right?
No, so what happened is after I got cut by the Cowboys, he got brought in as the coordinator. And I was one of the first guys he called because they were supposed to re-sign me when free agency started. So I would sit and talk to Dan Quinn on the phone. We would just sit and talk on the phone about the defense and all this. Me and Dan Quinn stayed in touch all the way up until he even, signed as the AC for the Commanders, because he's just that type of guy. He's like, if you was going to be one of my guys and we built this rapport, I'm not just going to cut that off because we didn't end up signing you back. And I knew then that guy's going to be successful. And then any player I've talked to, Michael Bennett, that played, was with him in Seattle. Any of these people that I've ever been around that's played for him, they said, man, listen, that dude is one of the great. You see what he did with Dallas defense. It's clearly not just his football mind, but how he motivates and can get like a group of men to come together for one common cause. And you're seeing what he's doing. They are fast tracking this rebuild.
Yeah. And he teamed up with the right players too.
Yeah.
Like the culture, like bringing Bobby Wagner in.
Because he knew.
I mean, that was a home run. Pairing him up with Frankie Louvu, bringing Chen in.
Man, Louvu
Baller.
Can ball, man.
Just so many veteran guys that he meshed together so well and have worked out so well.
When they hit on Jayden Daniels, man.
Then hit with Jayden Daniels. I mean,
Austin Eckler's a glue guy. Teams need glue guys, man.
Yes.
He's one of those guys, man. People, I was with
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I was with Austin at the Super Bowl last year. We did an event. And he was talking, and the more I was around him, I was like, I see why he's so successful. It's his mindset and how he operates, man. He's a great dude, and he's a glue guy. You need guys like that. They might not be your Christian McCaffreys on the field, but he's great at what he does. And he's always, there's not a team he haven't been on where you don't say, hey, we can't do what we do without him. When he was with the Chargers, he was a huge part of that offense. And he made some great plays in that game on Sunday. And, I'm excited to see what they do moving forward. But it hurt me to my core. I hate we had to lose it like that, but we lost fair and square, man. I'm excited for the Commanders' future. And Jayden Daniels, my boy, one of them.
Yes. And with that, break.
Let's take a break. Be right back.
All right. New segment. Game Wreckers and Playmakers, new segment where G and I, we gonna pick some Playmakers and Game Wreckers. Who you got, G? Who are your picks for the Wild Card Weekend?
So, Super Wild Card Weekend Game Wreckers. I don't have one particular person, but I have a team. The Houston Texans defense. The defense put on a show, man. 4 takeaways, 4 sacks, and I'm gonna say it again. This is a Super Bowl playoff win type defense, and this is a defense, when people are talking about dethroning the Chiefs, this is a defense that can go on the road and dethrone the Chiefs. They haven't forgot what happened. They haven't forgot that Tank Dell went down last time they played and it threw the whole momentum off. They have a point to prove. They went up to Baltimore last year, another top team, didn't go their way. They don't want to go through that again. If they gonna go up to Kansas City and get a win, this defense. So my game records, the Houston Texans defense, and my playmaker is none other than Jayden Daniels. I had to watch him all Sunday night make play after play after play. He extended play after play after play. That dude is a baller. He's a playmaker to play that great and not throw a single pick. Your first playoff game on the road and go get a win. Definitely Jayden Daniels. So my game records is a Houston Texans defense. My playmaker, Jayden Daniels. Killer, who you got?
All right. The first one, it's an easy one. A name that's been building some momentum. Sorry, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ugly. Ooh, that was ugly. All right, I'm back. Nolan Smith, game record,
Baller.
Eagles,
Baller.
edge player, been balling as of late, been coming on at the last of the half of the season, but he's been balling. He had about 8 tackles. He had 2 sacks. He was
2
everywhere.
TFLs.
He was just a menace in the backfield, played the run really well on the edge, but just got after the quarterback, just got after Jordan Love.
My boy T is watching this.
Effort he played with. Go ahead.
He gonna like that. No, I said my boy T who watches this, he's coaching my son basketball. He gonna like that. He an Eagles guy. He gonna love that.
Yeah, Nolan Smith. He jumped off the screen. You know, everybody focuses on Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat a little bit. You know, this guy's coming along. He's making a name for himself, and I just feel like the last half of the season and then opening weekend, he kind of just jumped off the screen to me, and I had to shout him out because he was one of them ones over the
freak
weekend.
Athlete too.
Then
he's a freak athlete.
I got to go with the king with this last one. I mean, to do what he did, to put the exclamation mark on the 44-yard TD run that he had. Derrick Henry was one of them ones over the weekend. 26 carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. He balled. And he had that stiff arm. Get out my face, boy.
26 carries, 26
Get out my
carries,
face, boy.
186 yards.
Baller, one of them ones.
26 carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pimp slap. That is ridiculous. I've never seen this stat before in my life.
Yeah, he said, he's like, where's my white powder? Where's my white powder? Those are our game records and playmakers of the week.
Yes, sir. Now let's get into some picks.
All right, picks.
Divisional round. Let's get into some picks. Let's start with the NFC.
All right.
Here we go. All right, Rams, Eagles. You know what, man? This is tough.
Hold on. You got to do the Commanders versus Lions. They're the Saturday game.
Oh, yeah, they are the Saturday game. My fault. Y'all, sorry, man. Forgive me, man. I'm all over the place. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Lions.
All right.
You know, I think the Commanders have had a great run, but sometimes the story is just meant. And I feel like the Lions are on a mission, and this is just their year for things to go their way. So I'm going to go with the Lions. I don't think they'll win it all, but getting to the NFC Championship in the Super Bowl, I just think it's the Lions' time. So I'm going with the Lions.
A week off after winning the NFC North title. They needed a rest, get some bumps and bruises cleaned up. I like Ben Johnson in that offense with Jared Goff over the Commanders' defense, especially the secondary and the O-line versus their D-line. I just feel like that's going to be the X factor because I believe the Lions will get a couple times where they'll get the Commanders off the field offensively. So I got the Lions too.
Yep, got the Lions. All right, Rams, Eagles. Who you got?
Eagles, bro. That Saquon Barkley, could argue him being the MVP after Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. He's a beast. I think he's going to keep running, especially with that Philly crowd. Ooh-wee. I got the Eagles.
I am so excited to see this Philly O-line versus this Rams D-line.
Round 2.
Oh, this is gonna be a battle, man. And T, I love you, man. I love you. I really do. You my dog. You do a great job coaching my son and all the boys. But I gotta go with the Rams on this, man. The Rams are good. And I feel like if they get in the shootout, I trust Matthew Stafford's right arm more than I trust Jalen's. I know.
It's gonna be a good ass game.
And I kind of just want to see Matthew Stafford go back to Detroit. Play again.
That's some good right
Yeah,
there.
so I'm going
Sorry for my
with the
language.
Rams. I'm going
All
with
right,
the Rams.
AFC. First game, Texan versus Chiefs. I think you alluded to something earlier, right? You were going for an upset.
Nah, I didn't say that. I said they have a defense that can.
Okay.
I didn't say they will.
Okay.
They can.
All right.
Listen, I expect to see the week 1 rematch. So I'm going to go opening day rematch is what I'm talking about. Kansas City Chiefs versus Baltimore Ravens. I expect to see a rematch. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes will be healthy. Chris Jones is healthy. You've given Andy Reid this much time to prep. Shoot. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs too. And then lastly, I'm going to go with the Ravens versus the Bills.
I'm going with Baltimore too.
My home team.
Yep. I'm going Baltimore as well. Baltimore as well. Those are, hey, listen, so that's our divisional round picks. Listen, before we go, I want everybody, if you get an opportunity, I posted on my social media, on Twitter and Instagram, Geraldini93. It's also on Facebook. It, how it's connected, it goes to Facebook. I got on there and I said a public prayer for all of the people affected in California with the fires. Killer has some people he knows personally that were affected. I made sure I checked
10 years.
Yeah, I made sure I checked on all of my people. But man, just big shout out and prayers. I want you guys to, if you have an opportunity to go see it, if you could spread that, around and send it to anybody who may need to hear an actual prayer. And from me and Killer and our families and the Yahoo family, we just send our condolences and our prayers and just our love. And we thank you to all the first responders, everybody who's out there doing an amazing job, doing something that none of us could do, will be willing to do. You guys are putting your life on the line, man. And, we thinking about you over here, and, just prayers and love, sending all of that to everybody that is has been affected by this. So,
Serious.
I don't know, Killer, if you got anything.
Thoughts and prayers, and a lot of people that I know been impacted by this, and I call California home. That's our family's home, that's for sure. That's where we've been. We just recently moved, but we've been there for 10 years since I've been in the NFL. So that place is home to us. And, I've driven that drive through Malibu. I lived in Brentwood for a while, and, just hearing the stories of friends and houses burning and, people going through what they're going. I also want to shout out the Navy SEAL team that was sweeping the streets, tagging and bagging looters. I think, I'm not going to say their names or whatever, but you guys know who you are, and you guys are ballers for doing that, making the streets safe over there during a tough time like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And this just goes to show, man, if you guys, you never know. You never know. So just spread love, continue to love on each other as much as you can, and don't take nothing for granted, man. Just like this show.
Yes.
I never take doing this show with my guy Killer for granted.
It's awesome
Addy,
to do it.
Brett, love you guys. Love the whole Yahoo family, man. We love all of y'all, and we never take any of this stuff for granted. So we love y'all. Killer,
we hope you enjoyed the show, man. Love
Killer,
y'all.
it's time, baby.
Let's go.
It's time, man.
Divisional
we going up to
round.
Western New York. We going. Was it Western New York? It's Western New York, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we going up to Western New York, and we coming back with somebody's head. Let's get it, Killer. We out. We'll see y'all next week as we prepare for the AFC Championship. We gone.